Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing something different. I think we're going to call this series Minis Redstone. Basically what we'll do with this series is any large redstone projects that we need to spend time in a creative world, we'll film the process so I can take you guys kind of through the way that I think about things and start to finish, including headaches and blunders. So behind me is the banking system that I mentioned before. It's a slight redesign off of Mumbo's from Season 7 of Hermitcraft, but still mostly the same as his design, with the overdraft system being a little bit different. But that's for inclusion in one of the series that's coming up. And so the one that I want to work on today is what I've mentioned in our Let's Play series for our storage system. So first things first, let's just move out of the way from that contraption, and we'll build ourselves a little platform here. I'm not sure how much space down we're going to need, so we'll start in the sky. So signal length of 15 is the most we can take out of a lectern, and so if we have 15 individual pages, it'll give us one option. So what I'm thinking for our sorter, if you haven't seen the video, is that we'll split things into categories. So we can have, out of a lectern, 15 different base categories. So this one could be like stone. You could have the next one be wood variants, ores, processed ores, wool, different things like that. And then off of each category, then you could go into the book and you could have subcategories. So if we were in the stone category, well, now you have the option of page 1 being granite, page 2 being andesite, and so on. So now when you take a signal out of this one, and you go to the one that you want, you get the proper signal. And we'll always have this set, so it'll take from the furthest one down the line. Which is a little bit of work, but really not that bad. So by doing this, we could choose block type, individual block inside that type, and then variant of that block. And we might need possibly a fourth category. We'll see once we get the item breakdown. The real question is, how are we going to take this and then run it to our sorter to retrieve the items and back? Okay, so we have a little user interface set up here for our 3 lecterns down below. And now we need to think about how to incorporate it. So we'll use primary colors as our primary lines. I think that'll be the easiest thing to keep track of. And so if we take our lines out like this, we can take this one this way, and we can take our third line going out the side. I mean, maybe it would have made sense to go primary color, secondary color, third, but as long as we're keeping track, that's the easiest thing to do. So if we go to page 10, you should still see 10 lit signals out of here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then this one should be dark, which it is. That's fantastic. And we can line all of this. So for the cancellation system, we can do this. So the whole point of these blocks is just to help limit down the delay to the further sections. And that's the same. We can fit a piece of redstone dust between the two, and then this will only take the delay off of that. So it saves us a bit of trouble. So the furthest point of delay here is only 3. here is this line is 4 because it has to be this line is 3, this line's 3, 2, 3, 2, 2. So not that much further delay to take a signal right to the outside. And as you can see here, if we switch, it changes there. So that's page 11. I didn't take it all the way to 15, but we can do that after. And you can see as we click through the page selector, it actually adjusts fairly quickly. And same thing for taking it back. You can see the dot of redstone changing. So that's perfect. So the next thing we have to do is find a way to distribute this signal to wherever our storage system is. And then we need a way to interpret it when it gets there. So what I'm thinking is we convert this to a binary signal, because right now we're going to have 15 pieces of value to possibly be transmitted. And we don't want to have to run 15 different segments of redstone for this, 15 different segments of redstone for this, and 15 different segments of redstone for this, and then have it calculate in post after. So I think the easiest way to take this line from here to wherever our sorter is going to be by use of binary. So this is currently up to 15 numbers, which means we have to run 15 individual lines per piece. But if we run that in binary, we only need 4 strands, and we can transmit up to 15 in that 4 strands. If it went to 16, we would have needed a 5th, but thankfully we don't. So, I'm at a bit of a loss at the moment on how to get this to go to binary. I have laid out these walls to show what lines each one needs to power, but where they're so tight together, it's a little bit difficult. I can spread them out, as you saw in the earlier clip, but then we still run into the problem of getting them to line up and light each one individually. There's probably an extremely simple solution that I'm missing, but such is redstone headaches, right? Okay, so we've come back down to the ground to try and rework this and make it simpler, because I honestly think we're just extremely overthinking it, and we can probably do it just from the one line instead of waiting to separate every individual sequence first. Because if we come down the line and we do something like this, when we alternate, then only the one that we want is ever going to be on or off in the first place. Or at least to a controllable point. So if we take some kind of system like this, and then separate the individual lines, it should be a lot easier to control what lines are lit. Well guys, after a little bit of racking my brain, I've come up with this. So we take 2 different lines out, that way we can grab an input. So if the following one, if the signal strength is passed, then this line makes sure that the next one is shut off, and it ensures that we only have one line actually producing. You can see it's this one right here, and if we switch pages, it goes to this one. We switch again, it goes to this one over here. Now we need to do one other step, and that is basically see what line we should take from. Because right now, we would end up having one set of binary lines coming out of here, like that kind of thing, and we have another set coming out of here. But we want to make sure that we're taking from the right one, because obviously if this is the signal strength here, actually, do you know what? It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter because only one's going to be powered. So as long as we lace these 2 over each other and join them in, we're good. And that's a fairly simple task, because we'll start out with the red line here and the red line here. And so we'll just take them forward. and combine them into one line. Now we will have to do a bit of lacing things over each other, like the pink line will have to probably pop up on one side or the other. To cross this one, actually we could cross it there, but and then come back down the other side where the pink line here comes up and meets and then keeps going. But only the correct one will be powered, so we could easily take the system from there and then lace it into, like I said, that ribbon cable and then take it wherever to our storage. So let's implement this up here where we have plenty of room to work and go from there. It's always amazing what you can do when you actually stop to think and simplify, right? Fastest way to get rid of unwanted redstone? Blow it up. Now, for those of you that don't know, one handy use of comparators as well is you can use them with blocks like that to actually extend a signal out of a lectern or an item frame. And there's other ways you could go about it, but this is probably the simplest. Each one does add a little bit of delay, but at the end of the day, that's not really that big of a deal for a simple solution. Now, the fun part is coding in our binary. So what we do, we come down underneath and we lay out our wires. And we code in our binary. So this is 1. So 1 is going to just be the red line. This is 3, so 3 is there and there. This is 5. Let's go over to the other side. Keep going. So red was 1. This is 2. Then we need a 3, which is over there. 4 is over here. So 4 is here. Then we need 6, which is 2, 4. Then we need 8, which is by itself. Then we need 10, which is an 8, 2. And then we need 14, no, 12, sorry, because math is a thing. Then we get all of them there. On this side, everyone should have a 1 in it because it's all of the odd numbers. 3, and then we need 5, so 5 is a 1 and a 4. Then we need 7. Then we need 9, so 1 and 8. 11. And then we need 13. And then finally, we need 15. And this one is mirrored to the other side so that we can hopefully merge them together. A little bit easier. I could be completely wrong, and I probably did that the hardest way possible. But, you know, stubbornness. Just stick to it, right? If you're going to do something wrong, might as well see it through and then fix it. Or is that not a saying? I feel like that's should be a saying when it comes to redstone, because you get most way through something, you're like, oh yeah, this will work, this is gonna be fantastic, and then you get to the end and you're like, well, I screwed up. Yeah, I actually put the purple magenta line one too close, because why not, right? Which means I did the same with this. So when we flick this to page 15, all 4 lights should be on. It's not, not because it's not working. It's not because I'm just not thinking about things. When we go to page 2, only a second light. Yeah, so that is one full working signal. So from 6, we have 2 and 4, which is 6, or 0, 1, 1, 0. And we can run this signal to our sorter. So on the other side of our sorter, we would need to do similar, but in reverse. So we'd need to take from a binary signal and build a couple of OR gates and then run that to specific areas depending on what ones are fired. So we'll have this set up first to come into a main kind of panel. And we have 15 different selectable outputs. Brain hurts. Brain hurts. Couple of brain cells right now. They're producing a lot of friction up there. They're rather confused at the moment. Wait, if we subtract here the signal coming in, we should be able to reverse that by having another one here doing the reverse. So this one should give us our output. Now we just need a way to make sure that this gets the proper signal strength to it, because my brain is not liking me today. With all of these placed in subtraction mode, we have a power of 15. We have a power of 15. That's great. So yeah, we're taking in our analog signal, converting it over to binary. We can run our binary wires wherever we want to go as long as we produce this setup at the end. Okay, so that should be in. So let's select 7. 4 and 12. So 7, 4, 12. Over here, we have 7. Over here, we have 4. And over here, we have 12. Which is perfect. So yeah, this is just 3 of the exact same system copied over. So primary circuits, we did our best to leave the binary wires in similar matching colors. So that way, if we were to run this for a ways, we could keep it at least somewhat organized. Now, the next thing we have to do is take from these input lines and basically build a brain. Maybe we'll call it here for this episode of Redstone with Mini, or Mini's Redstone. Mini's Redstone. I like Mini's Redstone. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. If you have any suggestions on ways that we could possibly make it a little bit better, I'll gladly take them. Anything to improve. Yeah, we can go from there. So, like I said, the next step in this project is to take these inputs from category, like class and then specific, and then have it retrieve a specific item. So I think we want to start on a small scale. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.